Really great idea to go all the way across town to the most Jewish suburb in Melbourne.
Another ugly protest in Sydney last night.
When is an assault on a place of worship an assault on a place of worship?
And confront people in their place of worship.
And when is it not?
Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen had condemned the planned protest, saying people have a right to practice their...
We answer that question with the help of a parable. The parable of the Sons of Sobieski.
Ей, десь там, де чорні води, сів на коня козак молодий.
Let's imagine for a moment that controversial right-wing politician Grzegorz Braun is invited to speak in an association of conservative Polish-Australian businessmen, whom we'll call, for argument's sake, the Marian Sons of Sobieski. For those who don't know, Mr. Braun is an alleged anti-Semite and Holocaust denier, but is also a popular politician on the right. Imagine the event held at what some might call the Cathedral of Polish Australia, Our Lady Częstochowa Church in Marian. Now let's say a group of left-wing Polish Australian university students who are part of an organization we'll call the Polish Pupils and Workers Collective, or PPWC for short, catches wind of the event. As you might imagine, they are not okay with it. The thing is, everyone hates the PPWC. They're one of those groups that's always showing up to complain about something. They show up at Our Lady Częstochowa, and the Sons of Sobieski are not having it. It's enough for people to have to deal with them complaining about Australia Day or gay rights in the Catholic Church, but Marian is their backyard, and this church, their temple. They had some nerve coming there.
This was a provocative move.
Shouts are exchanged, they turn into fisticuffs and scuffles. Who started it? Nobody knows, depends who you talk to, and the police won't give a straight answer. The next day, however, the president of the Sons of Sobieski, scion of a family of billionaire property developers and Labour Party donation bundlers, who also happens to be great mates with the premier, as such people tend to be, calls him up and tells him everything that happened. Which is all confirmed, by the way, by all reports in the press.
This is just shocking stuff. This is barracking for terrorism.
And boy, the premier is livid. A few weeks later, he introduces laws in Parliament to ban such protests, describing them as
laws designed to stop people from harassing other people or intimidating other people from recognizing their religion and worshipping at religious buildings.
Is that acceptable? Was the premise of the legislation, and indeed the inference about the PPWC, fair? Was it truthful? If the Premier really cared about the safety of Polish Catholics, should he not care that PPWC is an organization of Polish Catholics? Or is it enough to be assured by his mates in the Sons of Sobieski that the PPWC are fringe, unrepresentative, that everyone can't stand them? If he accepts that at face value, can he really claim to be acting out of concern for the Polish community, or just for his mates? More importantly, should you care about any of this? You might say, I'm not Polish, I've never heard of Grzegorz Braun, the Sons of Sobieski, or the PPWC, doesn't concern me. Or you might say, actually I hate the PPWC too, because of that time their protests disrupted traffic, or the things they said on Australia Day, or about the Catholic Church, or whatever. So I'm happy to see them finally shut up. We suggest you should care, for two reasons. First, denying people's right to protest on what they consider false premises is a fantastic way, indeed a perfect way, to turn an annoying radical fringe into a dangerous radical fringe. Most Australians are too young to remember when dangerous radical movements were actually a thing even in Western democracies like the US, Germany, Italy, and Greece. And if you've ever worked in a country where you have to pass through metal detectors to get into prestigious office buildings, you'll know that shared consent of the social contract is something we should never take for granted. Even more importantly, if it's okay to be cavalier about the truth when talking about an unpopular, powerless group like the PPWC, why would anyone think they'd fare better if one day they too find themselves seen as an unpopular and powerless fringe? Life is cruel that way. The freedoms that protect the PPWC protect all of us. That's why this isn't really a parable about the Sons of Sobieski. It's a parable about the health of our democracy and society, and the behavior of people and leaders who work for us. All of us.
Get on.